Easy English Podcast. Let's start, guys.
I want you to imagine something. You've worked for years, studied, practiced, pushed yourself, and finally, you get the email.
We'd like to invite you for an interview. And for one beautiful moment, everything feels possible.
And then the panic arrives. Quietly at first, then louder. What if my English isn't good enough? What if they ask something I don't know how to say? What if I freeze? Right there, in the middle of the most important conversation of my life.
That feeling, that specific, tight, breathless kind of fear is one of the most common things people write to us about. Not grammar, not vocabulary. This.
The gap between the person you are and the person you're afraid they won't see. Because the words didn't come out right.
Today, we're closing that gap.
Together.
Welcome back, everyone, to Practice Easy English, the podcast that's always in your corner.
I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo. And today we are going somewhere very real, very human, and honestly, a little vulnerable.
We're talking about job interviews in English. Specifically, the kind of interviews that can change everything. Big companies, international roles, the ones where English isn't just helpful, it's the deciding factor.
And I know that for a lot of our listeners, that feels enormous. Like the stakes are so high that even thinking about it makes your chest tight.
We know. We genuinely know. And this episode is for every single person who has ever sat down in front of an interviewer or a camera or a screen and felt like their English was standing between them and the life they were building toward.
You deserve to be in that room. Today, we're going to help you be ready for it.
Leo, before we get into the language, can we talk about the emotional side first? Because I think that's actually where it all begins.
Please, yes, let's go there.
So, here's something that a lot of people don't realize about job interviews. The language itself, the vocabulary, the grammar, is actually a smaller part of what interviewers are evaluating than most people think.
Really?
Really. Research in professional communication consistently shows that interviewers respond most strongly to confidence, clarity, and connection. The feeling that this person knows who they are, that they can communicate their value, not just recite it.
So, it's not about having perfect English? It's about having present English. English that sounds like it belongs to you. Not memorized answers. Not rehearsed speeches. You. Thinking clearly, speaking honestly, and connecting with another human being. That actually takes some pressure off. Because I think a lot of learners study interview vocabulary and then try to sound like a textbook.
And textbooks don't get hired. People do.
That's going in a frame.
Please do.
Okay, but let's also be honest. Language does matter, especially at a certain level, in certain industries. What kinds of English skills are we actually talking about when we say six-figure jobs?
Good question. So when we talk about high-level professional English, we're really talking about a few specific things. First, precision. The ability to say exactly what you mean. Not approximately. Not sort of. Choosing words that carry the right weight and the right meaning.
Like the difference between I helped the team and I led the restructuring of our customer service process and reduced complaint resolution time by 30%.
Exactly. Same experience, completely different impact. The second thing is register. Knowing when to be formal, when to relax slightly, when to use technical language, and when to make something simple and clear.
Reading the room, essentially.
Reading the room in English, which is a skill on top of a skill. And third, narrative, the ability to tell a story. Because the best interview answers are always stories. Not lists, not summaries, stories with a beginning, a challenge, and a result.
And stories connect people, even across languages, even across cultures.
Especially then.
Let's get into the actual language, the phrases, the structures, because I want listeners to walk away from this episode with things they can use.
Yes, let's do that. So the first moment in any interview is the introduction. And most people say something like, "My name is X. I have 5 years of experience in Y," which is fine, accurate, but flat.
Like a business card read aloud.
Exactly. Like reading your own LinkedIn profile. A stronger opening sounds like this. I've spent the last 5 years working at the intersection of two areas. And what really drives me is specific passion or impact.
Oh, that's good. At the intersection of. That phrase alone sounds so polished.
It does. And it's not complicated. It just shows you've thought about who you are, not just what you've done.
Let me try one. If I were interviewing for a communications role, I've spent the last 4 years working at the intersection of storytelling and strategy. What really drives me is helping people communicate ideas that actually land.
That's excellent. Genuinely. You introduced yourself as a thinker, not just a job title.
I want to hire myself now.
The bar is high.
What about the classic, "Tell me about yourself"? Because that question, for some reason, turns people's minds into a blank wall.
It does. And I think it's because it's so wide, so open. Where do you even begin? The trick is to have what I call a thread. A single connecting idea that runs through your answer, like a thread through fabric. Your answer should feel like it's going somewhere, not like a list of facts.
So, not, I studied marketing, then I worked at company A, then company B, then I got a promotion.
Right. That's the timeline, not the story. The story sounds like, I've always been drawn to understanding what makes people make decisions. That curiosity led me to study psychology first, and then I found that marketing was really just applied psychology with a budget. Over the past 6 years, I've been using that perspective to build campaigns that don't just reach people, they move them.
Oh, the thread is understanding what makes people make decisions. Everything else hangs on that.
Exactly. It gives the interviewer something to remember. Not a list of jobs, a person with a point of view.
And people hire people they remember.
Always.